13. First of all, what I want to say is hello to everybody. Saturday, we participated in a parade for Garden City to stop the violence. And I think we did an exceptional job on that. I want to thank the CEO and everybody else that participated in this. I also want to thank our driver, Mr. Waukee Reed. I think he's an exceptional piece that CAT really needs. So first of all, we're gonna go into, do anybody else have any other announcements? No? All right, so now I'm gonna turn it over to Ms. Molden.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We do not have any committee presentations. The consultant from JTA or JTI, the consulting arm, will be back for the full board meeting. But since she did do the presentation for all the other committees, we didn't have her come back for this committee. But if any of the board members or any of the committee chairs have any questions about the information that you all received after that presentation, we'll be happy to entertain those questions at this time.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
So we're gonna move on to COVID-19 emergency measures extension.
That is just the standard approvals that we have been seeking every month as we go through the COVID pandemic. It just allows us to have the authorization to make decisions when needed in order to keep the agency running, basically. And
right.
So basically 4B and 4C are actually companion items and fall under that. Prior to that, 4A is just the regular board meeting minutes as well that we'd like to keep on consent as well. And then 4D, E, F, and G are, 4D, E, and F are policies that have been in existence with the agency that we've had our chief administrative officer take a fresh look at, make basic revisions just to update the scope of the policy. And those were covered also in the prior board meetings. And then of course, G is permission to issue the RFP for IT services. If you recall earlier this year, shortly after I started, we were granted an extension, granted permission to extend the current IT provider's contract for 90 days. And we are forever cognizant of that deadline that is approaching. And so we just want to go ahead and get the RFP out so that we can award a new contract in time for the expiration of the extension that the board granted.
Thank you, Ms. Molden. Do we have any questions? All right, so we're moving on to old business. One, we're gonna go with the government committee. Any updates on any of our committees? Government committee, Mr. Jones?
No, sir, I don't have any updates at this time.
What about Mr. Emister?
Neither do I.
What about, how about you, Ms. Robinson, Dr. Robinson?
I only have one, and
Yes.
that is that Mr. Dedrick Leggett will be assuming the responsibility of chair of the committee.
Yes, ma'am, and we accepted that.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Mr. Leggett.
Thank you, sir.
All right, now we're gonna go right on down to new business.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm going to turn it over to David Stearns, our Chief Administrative Officer, to talk about this new policy. We have it on the agenda for a first reading since it is a brand new policy, and we'll be bringing it back before the board next month for an action item.
Thank you, Bakar. Good morning, everyone. So the compliance program
is a comprehensive program that is basically new to CAT. So it's a comprehensive compliance program aimed at promoting, obviously, compliance, but also good ethical decision making, providing things like hotlines, training, kind of putting together ideas that may have been around at CAT into one kind of comprehensive program. The whistleblower, sometimes it's called hotline, is part of this program, which is up and running actually. So what we're seeking here is to have the board review what we put together for the compliance program as a document, make recommendations or any sort of requested changes, and then we can make those changes and present it next month for final approval by the board.
Right. Thank you, Mrs. Stearns. And we're gonna go on to so our next meeting is gonna be September 22nd. That'll be next week. And our next committee meeting gonna be on October the 13th, 2020. Do we have any questions? All right. I appreciate everybody, and we are gonna call this, adjourn this meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Dietrich. You be safe, brother.
Thank you, sir. Y'all have a good one.
Hi, y'all.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thanks
Thank
to the members of the board.
I'm gonna send you that information, CEO Malden.